Oh man, good news everyone. Tron Ares is the #1 film in the world, and with a little to no competition coming out this weekend, I mean, it's possible it maintains that hold for its second weekend, but I mean, I think you guys already know at this point in time, this is one of those statements that is technically true, but morally false. Because you can be the #1 film in the world, but then also be a gigantic and total disappointment. Because, yeah, Hollywood media turned on Jared Leto after Tron Ares' box office failure. Yes, is he a Disney scapegoat? Well, I could just simply summarize that by saying yes, but then again, you see the time code on this video, and you know that there's going to be a lot more to say about this than just simply, yeah, no, he's a poison on the box office. But to be fair, like, he's not the only thing that's awful about this movie. Like, I've listened to a couple of different breakdowns, and it just is, I'm not going to say any better or worse than some of the worst movies coming out this year, which there have been a lot of bad movies this year. And so it's another instance of Hollywood, the media, what have you, just not simply acknowledge that there's a lack of talent in the writer's room, but it's easier to blame stuff like streaming or an incredibly divisive star. So when Tron Ares stumbled out of the gate, the entertainment press wasted no time finding its culprit. Forget Disney's overstuffed release calendar, creative stagnation, or a year of record-breaking box office failures. No, the problem that led to Tron Ares' box office failure, according to outlets like The Hollywood Reporter, is Jared Leto. The trades have turned on the Oscar-winning actor with a vengeance, painting him as a problematic and egocentric architect of Ares' downfall. But while Leto certainly didn't help matters, the bigger story here isn't about one actor, it's about the studio in creative freefall. In its October 14th feature, Hollywood Reporter framed Tron Ares as the moment Jared Leto's star power ran out. The piece titled, "No one asked for this reboot, Tron may mark an end to Jared Leto's franchise leading day isn't subtle." No, of course, and well, we have the article pulled up right here, and we might as well go through it because it paints a picture of Jared Leto and then also kind of lets you know about the future of the Tron IP. And well, here's the thing, man. For as much as I don't want to pin all of the blame of this movie's failure on Leto, you kind of see a through line for this guy's career, and it's kind of hard to dismiss that he isn't exactly a contributing factor. But there he stood, in a red raincoat draped dramatically over a white suit, perched 30 feet above Piccadilly Circus for the October 1st London premiere of Tron Ares. What was Jared Leto doing up there? Jesus Christ. Greeting his public like some interstellar overlord. He definitely has a god complex, that's for true. Drumming up excitement for his latest blockbuster release, of course, the stunt was straight out of Leto's playbook. Funny how they're going to go ahead when they finally turn on somebody. They will start to finally point out all of their narcissistic tendencies that everybody else with a set of working eyes have known for years. But yes, like a light cycle slamming into a jet wall, Tron Ares was savagely de-rezzed at the box office this weekend, bringing in at least $10 million less than the projected opening gross. The Disney sci-fi tentpole pulled in a dismal $33.2 million from 4,000 theaters against a net production budget of at least $180 million. Oh wow, they're at least admitting to that, yeah, because, well, Disney told us it's $180 million, but, you know, they're kind of prone to lie. Interesting, is that also an admission that they're not only turning on Jared Leto, but also Disney? Wow, how many articles are we going to be getting through the end of the year about how Disney is a studio in collapse? Interesting. Overseas, the sci-fi epic also failed to connect, grossing $27 million for a global start of $60.2 million. Some at Disney were always concerned only diehard fans would show up, which isn't a Leto issue, but an IP problem. Yeah, exactly. I could have told you. It's like, oh, there's a new Tron movie coming out. All right, cool. That's whatever. They were right, 18 to 24-year-old males. The sweet spot, badly under-indexed. Yes, combined with a bland B-plus cinema score, the sources say Tron will likely retire from the big screen. Yep, it's out of there. And honestly, like, what? The first one came out in 1982. And then you had Legacy come out in 2010. And now you have Ares coming out in 2025. Like, there's just big gaps out there where you might be able to make a franchise like this work if they're, like, generationally great movies. But you put this big of a gap between things, and then, especially when Ares has, like, nothing to do with the rest of the series. Like, Tron's not even in the Tron movie, for Christ's sakes. You can't get away with that stuff. Leto appreciates spectacle. How else would you describe an actor who scales the Empire State Building, climbing from the 86th floor observatory to the 104th floor, all to promote a band 30 Seconds to Mars? Yeah, this is why I've always found him so fucking cringy. Ever since I was a kid, I was fascinated with the Empire State Building, so I decided to climb it, because your ego is the size of King Kong. But yes, after it was discovered that he was the one, Jared Leto talking here, he was really pushing for this movie right here. He ended up, getting producer credit credits on the film, and well, but but now the kind of hefty paydays Leto earned for Ares could be in the past, as an agency partner says that the studios already have stepped away from the actor as a leading man choice after the failure of Sony's Spider-Man universe spin-off Morbius, oh no, which opened to $39 million, more than Tron Ares, and stateside en route to a not good $167 million globally in 2022. Oh man, yesterday we did a video on One Battle After Another, and what was it, Variety, that came out and said, oh, $140 million is actually not bad. Like, shut up. Yeah, in a world which Michael Fassbender, Ewan McGregor, and Benedict Cumberbatch are having a hard time getting leading roles, and all of them are just far more likable and talented, or at least, like, Jared Leto does have some talent, I will give him that, but a lot less baggage with those guys, for sure. Why would they even go to a person who can't open a movie and who has question marks around him as a person, as one top talent manager partner? With Ares flopping, the insider says Leto's currency in town has run colder than Morbius's vampire blood. Oof, pretty fucking scathing. But yeah, man, all things considered, and looking forward to what articles the trades are going to be running here in the next couple of months, we can take a look at how Disney is overall performing, okay? Disney is enduring what may go down as one of the worst box office years in modern history, from Snow White to Elio to Thunderbolts. The studio has stacked up disappointment after disappointment. Captain America Brave New World, Fantastic Four, supposed to be sure things, underperformed by the time Ares opened to a dismal $60 million global. Disney had already shattered its own record for annual flops. Yes, Snow White's $240 to $270 million production budget. Elio, Pixar's latest original, fucking failed spectacularly. Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four each failed to break even thresholds once marketing was factored in. Freakier Friday, yes, and Captain America Brave New World, modest box office with no profit margin. And then finally, Tron Ares, the final nail in the big budget and a global debut, nearly 70% below projections. But yeah, the year isn't done, and with, Lilo and Stitch being the highest grossing movie of the year, boo, performing, yes, above expectation, and Fire and Ass coming out. But even still, like, if it ends up holding true to the rest of the franchise, talking Avatar here, and it makes $2 billion, that's still not going to be enough to offset all of those other failures that Disney has put out this year. And so if they want to avoid another year like 2025, they really need to go back to the drawing board. But then again, you look forward to 2026, you got Doomsday coming out next year, and holy shit, that's just going to be a money sink. It's going to be like Rise of Skywalker, right? Where even if it makes over $1 billion, theoretically, it could still end up losing money, which is wild to think about, but a very real possibility. And so yes, going back to Jared Leto here, okay? Assessing the man at the center of this quote-unquote controversy, you really have to look at, well, his entire latter career, because yeah, he had successes with Requiem for a Dream, or Requiem of a Dream, whatever. That heroin addict Darren Aronofsky film that's just so fucking miserable. And Dallas Buyers Club, where he got his Best Supporting Actor Oscar. It's been a minute since he's been in anything of note, and more recently, he's kind of been the reaper of franchises. Yeah, the DCU adds Jared Leto, the Joker, the cringiest fucking Joker ever. That ends. Sony Marvel adds a Jared Leto. Oh my god. It wasn't immediate, but within the year, that ends. And then the Tron franchise adds Jared Leto. It ends. There's a pattern here, and a noticeable for the common person. I mean, yeah. And so you would have to think, right? Like, nobody's going to be stupid enough to throw him in another big budget movie, right? Oh, he's going to be Skeletor in a Masters of the Universe movie. Oh, fuck. Like, for as bad as that's going to be, and especially hearing all of the stories about him being a super fucking cringe method actor on the set of Suicide Squad. Yeah, if he's going to be playing somebody so unabashedly evil like Skeletor, the only people I feel worse than the audience watching this are the cast and crew that are going to have to put up with his shenanigans. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.